Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is Around the Base Sports. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And make sure to follow us on our Instagram page, Around the Base Sports, all lowercase with three underscores. And here are your hosts.
I'm Jack.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Amon. And this is
Around.
The Bay.
Sports. And I'm Amon, substituting for Jesse. He will be back next week. And yeah, we got some topics to discuss as the MLB.
A lot of baseball talking.
We got we got MLB All Star concluding. We're gonna give you guys our takes. We got some NBA news. Bradley Beal to the Clippers, and also we got another NFL signing of Sauce Gardner getting paid, and we're gonna give us our MLB playoff predictions. Since we're about to kickstart the second half, we're gonna give us our wild takes. Not saying we're right or wrong, so let's get right to it. So yeah, start with the home run derby. Quite an epic ending. Cal Riley takes it for the Mariners, which is the first catcher and the first Mariner to win it. And it was quite an epic showing. Jack, what's your reaction to that? And how did you enjoy the Derby?
Well, my pick was completely wrong in James Wood. He pretty much let me down in the home run derby, but it's all good. He'll have a great career. But this was a pretty good home run derby. Cal Riley, he won like you said, first catcher won the home run derby, first Mariner to ever win the home run derby. He first played against O'Neill Cruz in the second round, and O'Neill Cruz is one of the best and most powerful hitters in baseball. And it was not too close for a difference of Cal getting 19 homers versus Cruz getting only 13. And then he goes to the final round and plays against Junior Caminero, who plays for the Rays. If he had won, though, he would have been the first Rays player to win the home run derby, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, crowd. And it was close. It was close. It was Cal had 9, I believe it was 19 again, and Caminero had 15. Maybe it was 18. I think I'm not entirely sure. But all in all, it was a great home run derby, and I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah, for our first comment, real quick, just talking about Jesse. Yeah, Jesse is fine, just dealing with some personal issues, but I did meet him actually today. He's doing pretty good, but he will definitely be here next week, so don't you worry, Jesse. We'll be back taking the helm of our podcast. But yeah, Drew, what's your take? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. Like Jack mentioned, he faced Cal Ron. I did say Cal Ron was going to win with your dad in the last podcast. And I think, obviously, first catcher and only Mariners to win the home run derby is crazy to me. But, like Jack mentioned, the battle against O'Neill Cruz, he mentioned he's one of the most powerful hitter in the game right now. Even though that matchup wasn't even close, but in the finals, like Jack mentioned, play against Junior Caminero from the Rays. That was a close one, 18-15, something like that. And but congrats to him on winning the home run derby. First Mariner and first catcher. Hopefully, it's just a trend for catcher if you want to be in the home run derby. Use Kyle Raleigh as an inspiration.
Yeah, for me, I feel like overall, just from the start of just the beginning of the hitting round, we knew this is pretty tough competition. But when I saw Cruz hit that 513 foot, I really thought like if you can hit like that, you take it all the way. But props to Cal Riley. And yeah, as Drew mentioned, hopefully we get a trend of catchers starting to enter more in the Derby because they're good for their arm straight catching runners. So hopefully we can get this trend going. More catchers to the Derby. But yeah, what do you? Yeah, what are your guys' takes? Do you guys enjoyed it? Let us know. And yeah, now going to the game itself. But before we begin, have you guys seen that Hank Aaron tribute of the 700 of when he made his 715th home run in that stadium? Like that was like almost like a cinema event. Like the way they did the like a firework as like if it was him hitting the ball. That was something like the way they set up. It was so beautiful. And yeah, what are your guys' takes? Drew, I'll go back to you.
Yeah, it was pretty dope of MLB doing that in the All Star game. Especially doing it's especially in Atlanta. That he spent his tenure there. As a Brave. So I think it was pretty dope. That's probably the only W MLB gets so far. Only
Jack,
W.
Jack, what do you thought?
Well, I felt this was very special for Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron is definitely one of the best players to ever play the game. He's definitely one of my favorite baseball players of all time, well, for legends wise. This was definitely deserved because the game was hosted in Atlanta, and Hank Aaron's the best Braves player to ever play. I don't care what anybody else says about anybody else. But this was very deserved. Hank Aaron deserves this kind of a tribute. The tribute was very amazing, and I literally just watched the footage like 10 minutes ago when Amon told me all about it. And I was very surprised on how they did it. They kind of did it where like Hank Aaron was about to swing, and then like the ball is like zoomed in, and then the firework bursts and goes pretty much in the direction where Hank Aaron's home run went. So this was it's truly special for him, and I know the baseball community and the baseball world misses him.
A little shout out to Juan Jones joining in, saying his comment, Hammer Hank Legend. Might be our top comment for the stream. But yeah, like let's get to the game itself. The NL up 6-0, and you figured that was it, but no. That's why we say don't. It's now over until it's over. And you saw the AL making a comeback, and they tied it. But overall, that game when they tied it, that was the first time actually ever getting the swing off at the end. It's a new format that they've added, but a lot of history there. 12 total runs. That hasn't happened in a while. I mean, Skeens with the fastest strikeout. That hasn't happened since 05. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, there's a lot of history in that. It was quite an exciting game. But what do you got, Jack? What's your take on it? Like, of just that comeback? Like, pretty much like, did the NL escape? Did they really cut the streak?
Well, in the game, like halfway in the game, it was. I just got some sports news, but we'll discuss that later. But the National League at first, they're winning 6-0 against the American League at the end of the sixth inning. So the American League had their comeback. Like Brent Roker hit a 3-run shot in the seventh, and then Bobby Witt scored one sac grounder in the seventh inning, and then he had a double and scored another guy. And then Stephen Kwan, I believe his name is, had an RBI. So then it was 6-6, and then it goes to the home run swing off, which I've never heard of before. So it definitely has to be new, and I've never seen anything like this before. But it was fun to see. I know that Kyle Schwarber was pretty much the hero, and he got All-Star Game MVP. And he hit I believe he hit 3 of the 4 homers for the National League.
Yes, he did. That he did. Drew, what's your take? Or did you enjoy the game too as well?
Yeah. So before I say my statement, Jesse, Amal, and I, all 3 of us watched the game on TV together, and it was a fun game. Even though American League won most of the battle against National League, Even though National League won in 2023, I thought this game was interesting and entertaining for sure. Like Amon said, game's not over until it's over. National League was up 6-0, which is we all thought that's it's over by now. But no, Brent Rooker, hit a 3-run home run against Giants reliever Ryan Rodriguez, and then Byron hit a ground out, RBI ground out in 7th, and then starting this, and they scored 2 more with RBI by Bobby Witt and Stephen Kwan. Never thought it was going to swing off. I think that was a rule in 2021. So I really, as a baseball fan, I wouldn't think that a game like that is going to go to a swing off. But Jesse and I had a conversation. All three of us had a conversation. We wish that it was extra inning rules. All that stuff.
I kind of
But
really didn't, honestly, because then I feel like we would have been there till like 10 p.m.
yeah. And then Schwarber hit all three of his home runs. Rooker hit 2 of his 3, and then Stoner from the Marlins hit 1, and then Rosenwright hit 1, and then Schwarber hit 3, and then Arena from the Rays didn't hit any to extend the swing off. So, Schwarber, he got the MVP. I wish it was Otani for myself. All three of us had either Judge or Otani for MVP. But it is what it is. But awesome game overall. Even though the viewership went down from last year, but I thought it was also a game to watch, in my opinion.
Didn't you guys mention Schwarber? He's actually the second Philly since 1964. The name Johnny Carlson, but even before they even give out rewards in 1962. And actually, I just have a question. Like, I know Schwarber played really well, but I wonder, did he won just because he won the face-off? Because if so, do you guys think should MVP goes to when you play the game instead of just going based on just home runs? What do you guys think, Jack?
Well, I think it matters on how much you have an impact on the game. Like when he normally played, he wasn't a starter. He was a pinch hitter for Otani, but his first at bat he flied out to center. The second at bat he walked, so that doesn't count as an at bat. And then he lined out in the 9th inning. Then all of a sudden you go to this home run swing off, and he wins the game for the National League. So I believe you can do it like that. You just got to have a certain kind of impact on the game.
All right, Drew, what do you think?
Yeah, you just gotta have impact in the game. Like Jack mentioned, even though you might not do well in the first part of the game, as long as you do, it's not about it, guys. It's not about the start. It's how you finish the game. Like if he impacted the game, at the end, then yeah, he deserves. But also I want to mention the ABS system. That challenge, that was a really good system. I wish MLB did that in the regular season. So I wish they can
just apply that just to begin the season now. Like, wow,
yeah, I wish they can reply in when the season starts.
By thousands of cameras.
Yeah, hopefully they can do that. Hopefully next season, But no, it was a good challenge for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess for me, I get the statement like impact, but because then if you could think of it, just if you actually could or maybe what I feel like they should do. I know they just stick with MVPs, but they should split awards. Who was the best pitcher? Who had the best impact as a pitcher? Then you could go as a hitter. Then you could go maybe as defenseman. I know they don't have that in MLB, but maybe they should split the awards so then more players from each team gets one. It could even be a fan vote too. That'd be a kind of a cool thing they should have.
I mean, you could do a fan vote, but I mean, I think they should only just keep it to one award. You got to give it to the clear best player. That was by far the most impactful and the best player in the All-Star game. So I believe they should keep it to one, but that's a reasonable opinion.
All right, taking a little break with MLB. We're gonna get a little to some NFL. We got our new signing, the Jets. They believe in the future, as they did give Sauce Gardner their top corner and his extension. And I know we were talking about Garrett Wilson, but you guys have different takes in all this? Is it you guys have different opinions? Drew?
No, Sauce Gardner is one of the best cornerbacks in the league. I mean, obviously, the money is, he deserves the money. He's impacting the game. You know, Jets defense a lot. But I think he deserves money. We all mentioned on Monday about the Garrett Wilson team. Obviously, the team like the Jets, the same with the Jets, it could be risky. You know, what if he doesn't do well? What if he gets injured in one of those years? Like does he live that expectation that everyone believes in? That's like one thing that signing like a contract extension can do to him.
Jack? You got any different opinions or the same about Wilson?
Well, honestly, I'm going to go with the same thing as I said about Garrett Wilson. But Sauce Gardner, he's now the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. He signed a 4-year, $120 million extension. Contract includes like $85.6 million in guaranteed money. It's a heck of a payday for him. That's for sure. But he's playing with the Jets. It's great for him money wise. It's not great for him like winning
Career
wise.
goal.
This reminds me of when Myles Garrett wanted out of Cleveland so bad, and that yet he turns around and signs a big time contract with them. So honestly, I could compare the Browns to the Jets because they're both dog shit teams. No offense to any fans out there that I like them, but it's good for money wise, bad from career wise. I thought he should have waited and go to another team, and he can win there, and he could like be way better than he already is. But I mean, he's already one of the top 2 best defensive backs with him and Patrick Surtain II. But good for him. He definitely got his money's worth. He might be suffering in New York, but he'll be having a hell of a lot of money to back it up.
Well, maybe the only thing that could affect this if drama occurs, because in the NFL, there's a lot of people doing reckless decisions for God knows why. But yeah, I mean, Garner deserves his pay. It's with the Jets. They really believe the future. But what we will see through these years, we'll see through these years this Jets franchise. They're dying. Hopefully, they can get some rain from the Atlantic Ocean. So yeah, that's it for NFL. We'll let you know anything else.
I actually have breaking news.
All right, breaking news, folks. Special report.
Von Miller just announced that he's going to be signing with the Washington Commanders.
Wow.
This was announced 10 minutes ago. I just got it on my ESPN app, so he's now heading to DC.
Well, there you have it. Von Miller not leaving, not calling it quits yet. He's joining the Commanders. Now we got to know, is Miller the missing piece?
Well, you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, but I just see this comment. But we'll get back. We'll respond to that comment soon. But just hearing this breaking news about Miller. So is this the missing piece? Bobby Wagner and Von Miller teaming up?
Well, if you had these guys like 5 years ago, I would say the Commanders are Super Bowl contenders by a mile. Von Miller, I'm not entirely sure how old he is accurately. I think he's like in his mid-30s. But this definitely does bring veteran and Super Bowl experience on your team. So this is very valuable. Now, the Commanders still have some issues to work on with like Terry McLaurin, who's having contract disputes with the Commanders, so he might get traded. But this is a big piece of the Commanders that could help them out in the future of the season. But they still need a defensive back. But if they can get like one defensive back that's decent veteran, has experience, I think the Commanders can be one of the biggest threats to the Eagles.
What's your reaction to the special report Miller to the Commanders?
Oh man, it's just crazy that Von Miller is not going to end his career. But good for him. Joining, bringing some experience to the team. Super Bowl experience. Veteran experience. I feel that the committee needed that in my opinion. So someone have experience going through the Super Bowl and stuff. But I don't think, like Jack mentioned, I don't think that's enough to be a bigger threat to the Eagles. But good for them. Good for Commanders. They're having pieces. But he's a good defensive dude, but he's gonna help the defense a lot for sure. I can tell you that.
Got our first comment about this breaking news. Comment saying Miller can help, but he's only going to play a few downs. Okay, so it's not full play because, as Jack said, it was 5 years ago or even later.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah, this dude will just.
Yeah, he's 30. He's 36, so he's starting to get up there. He's starting to look toward retirement.
But yeah, I don't know. So now hearing about that, I feel like even though the command, just talking about the commander, they got Debo, they just got Miller, or maybe need a few more pieces, but it's definitely a strong enough team. I expect them to be back in the playoffs. We'll see if they go back in that deep run again. We'll see. But that's my opinion. But let's go back to the Jets topic. Got a comment here saying about Garrett Wilson got paid, but what about a QB that needs to rely on? So do you guys think could Wilson rely on Justin Fields?
I don't trust Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is going to be more of a runner than he is going to be a passer. I think the Jets should have gone for someone. I mean, like Justin Fields was going to be the best guy you were going to get, but I think they should have gambled and tried to get someone that's like even better. Letting go of Aaron Rodgers, that was understandable because Aaron Rodgers is turning into a caveman in the NFL.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, he's going to be more of a runner than a passer. I think Garrett Wilson's he's going to still be he's going to be a very solid player, but his stats are going to be lower than they were last year.
Yeah. Drew, what do you think? Come on, gather my thoughts real quick.
I don't know. Like Jack mentioned, Justin Fields is probably not the ideal quarterback for Garrett Wilson. Like Jack mentioned, he's a runner, not a thrower, not a passer. So I get why they got Rodgers. He's more a passer. But I feel like the Jets could have got someone who can throw more than run more.
Yeah, like it's just whatever. It depends on Aaron Glenn's playbook. What does he see? I know he's really good on the defense, setting a lot of pressure. But now, seeing as a head coach, we'll just see what can he develop Fields to maybe while sticking with his style of being a runner, but maybe focus on passing a little bit more. So for me, I'm not. I guess I'm not really entirely sure. We just got to see it to believe it on Justin Fields. It's still a pretty good sign, as Jack said. It's like the best QB available they can afford. So we'll just have to wait and see. If any more comments about Von Miller or about the Jets takes, let us know. If not, we're going to move on and get to some NBA action. Finally, we got some NBA news. I mean, it's nothing big, but it's something. We've been waiting. And that is Bradley Beal taking a buyout with the Suns, and he will sign with the Clippers for 2 years, only $11 million. But what's crazy about this, going back to what the Bucks did to Lillard, how much they're paying him over time. The Suns are now paying him $150 million, I believe, 3 or 5 years, one of the two. Let me know. And first, let's just say Bradley Beal to the Clippers. What do you guys' take? I mean, at this point, it's just we got James Harden, a flopper. I mean, been in the league for a while. They got Kawhi Leonard, and he comes and goes because sometimes we see him on the court, he plays really good, and then you don't see him for like 10 or 20 games. All right, we got before we get our takes on the Clips, go back to the Jets here. That a comment you're saying the Jets should have got a quarterback on draft day. I don't know what pick they had. It was a high enough for a QB. I mean, they could have made Snag Shador. That might be something. I don't know because there's a lot of hype with that name. Could have went the Oregon quarterback. But yeah, that's a good comment. Maybe the Jets should have maybe drafted a QB early and have a little competition with Fields. And,
Yeah. Can I just respond?
Yeah.
Honestly, I totally agree with that. I know the Jets got the main guy that they wanted in the offensive tackle from Missouri, but if I were the Jets, I would have tried to go for Jackson Dart. It was either Jackson Dart or Shador Sanders.
You guys let little brother take him. I don't know the Giants. I'm considering them little brother. I don't know who's little brother, big brother.
Honestly, they both haven't done anything in like over a decade. So I would say they're just
older siblings. So
I don't know, just two like twins beefing it like almost daily.
Drew, do you have any more?
No one's any better. No one's any worse.
Drew, do you have anything to say?
I think the Jets could have got a quarterback, like Shador or Dylan Gabriel, like Mon mentioned, But I wish they got them, but it is what it is, They got they want their top offensive lineman from Mercury, But they should have got a QB during draft day. I totally agree with his comment.
All right. Any more comments? Oh, wait. That too. Maybe at least second or third rounder they could have snagged a QB in that. But let's get back to the NBA take of Bradley Beal to the Clippers. He's getting paid with only $11 million, but he's getting paid $150 by the Suns for a few years. So what's your take, just Beal to the Clippers in general? I know it's just, for me, it's just like they could maybe, like, Beal, he's been injury prone a lot, but if he's healthy, maybe play in at least, and we'll see what happens. But I don't really see anything grand about the signing. Drew, what do you think?
I think all Suns fans wanted Beal to get out of Phoenix, to be honest. I saw on Instagram, I saw someone celebrating after the Beal buyout, popping champagne, that's how happy the Suns fans are, They're happy they don't want. They're happy. They're happy that
if they're going to pay him $150 million for like 3 years.
No, they're just happy that he's not on the team. They don't have to pay him like $60 million when he's on a bench, off the bench, like they're just that happy, Other thing with the team being the Clippers, I don't know if I don't know, their Clippers have old team, Kawhi, James Harden, Bradley Beal, like all in like the mid-30s. So but if he, like Amon said, he's injury prone. So I mean, if Bradley Beal is healthy, like clearly healthy, like 100% healthy, I can see them like maybe first round of the playoffs. Maybe get as the 60. But who knows how rotation of the Clippers would do. But I think even though without Bill, they'll still be contender. They're always a contender. Like not like finals contender,
not finals.
But like they're always a contender in the West,
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty competitive in the West. We have a comment here about this topic and saying is Billy even a 6-man? That we don't know.
I don't know.
Because I mean, Norman Powell went to the Heat. I feel like they should have kept him. He's been really helpful.
I don't know why
I don't know why they did that.
They need to be drug tested after doing that.
Yeah, but Jack, what's your take on Beal signing?
Well, I mean, honestly, if like we're Warrior fans, there's teams rivals. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Bradley Beal going to the Clippers. I don't think it really possesses any value. I think it only brings like another veteran in. But besides that, there's not really much use. So the thing is, like for like game appearances, I think this could potentially be one of the more laziest teams in the NBA, because the thing is, James Harden, he's the only guy that like has almost played every game. He played 79 games in total of last season. Meanwhile, Kawhi Leonard only played 37, and Bradley Beal, he was like kind of more than usual. Played only 53 games, but now this is starting to turn into a retirement home for the Clippers. Because James Harden's getting up there, Kawhi Leonard's getting up there, and I think Bradley Beal's in his mid 30s. But if he's lower than that, then I feel sorry for him as an individual. Bradley Beal is not the guy that he used to be in DC. I said that in the past before.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard, when Kawhi Leonard's on the court, he can be extremely valuable. But when he's injured, he's a pain in the ass. I remember just years ago when Andrew Bogut was on the Warriors. I remember my dad would always say, because Bogut would be hurt all the time, and then my dad would say, yeah, Bogut looks nice in a suit and not in a Warriors uniform, because he'd be injured all the damn time. And that's the same for Kawhi Leonard. But if they can get their stuff together, maybe they can be a decent team. I predict they won't even go past the first round, but that's my opinion. But this is no significance. Bradley Beal's a nice guy, and he's getting paid a hell of a lot of money from Phoenix. Honestly, I think he should just do he should do a 1 year, walk away if he has a terrible year, and he has a boatload of money to take away with him.
Like,
never has to play again.
I feel like he should just take the minimum. He's getting paid $150 million by the Suns. Now he's like add that to $11 million for 2 years. I just got like this comment here saying about like it could be Beal could be a waste of a capital, and even if he gets hurt, like somehow he's still getting paid even if he gets hurt. So it's like the dude doesn't even have to play like 20 games.
Yeah, that's basically saying, hey, I'm getting paid to sit my ass on the bench.
At this point,
I'm saying now, if the Warriors had signed Bradley Beal, I might not have made appearance on this broadcast because I lose my damn mind.
Like, well, it's just Drew and I.
Well, I'm fine with that, but yeah.
But Drew, you had your take.
What is your take on?
I kind of did in the title. I was trying to keep my takes swift. But any more comments about this, or even about our old topics like Von Miller signing? Let us know of the news. If not, we got some. Since then, back to the MLB. While the MLB off second half about to begin, we thought we're going to share our predictions of what the playoffs could be as it stands now, or what we see as it ends. So, like for me, like we know the NL is probably the toughest division in the game. It definitely took me a hard decision for the wild card, but like for me, I'm gonna have to go with the Dodgers taking number 1, but I got the Mets taking the last 2, and my wild card spots are the Phillies, Padres. I'm going with my Brewers. Hopefully, you can get back in and get out of that wild card round to get really have a taste of a full playoff series. And I'm going to say it. I got the Giants because we've been speculating a lot about it, and I feel like they can. At least get that last spot because the Giants, San Francisco, it's been forever, and the fan base is dying for them to at least make it a playoffs, so we get the playoff atmosphere back in San Francisco. I mean, of course, in the regular season, you've seen it; it's like sell out practically every game. But I got that's mine, and then on the AL side, I got the Tigers, and I'm actually going with the Red Sox. The Red Sox I heard they're going on a bit of a win streak. I think they'll probably keep it going, or at least definitely have a good ending season. And then my wild card is Yankees, Mariners. The Yankees, the Mariners, the Rays, and I'm going with Stephen Vogt's Guardians. Get back in it. I know they're 4.5 games back at the moment, but I believe in Stephen Vogt. And then, as I have it fully broke out, I pretty much got the Tigers coming out of the AL, and I actually have the Mets coming out of the NL, and I got the Tigers winning in 7. So that'll be a pretty exciting game. So that's mine. That's my prediction. So we'll go to Jack. What's your predictions?
Now, just to be sure, are we doing like an entire bracket, like who we think is going to win the World Series, or just who's going to make the playoffs?
World Series, like how I did it, just like who's your top 2, who's your wild card, and then just sum it up. Who you have on one side, who you have on the other, and who.
Okay. All right. I'm going to explain this to all of you, just in case the people out there who are watching don't really know how the MLB playoff like bracket works. So the number 1 seed and the 2 seed, they get bye weeks. They get a bye, so they get that time off. But then 4 will play against 5, and 3 will play against 6. So for the American League, I got Tigers at the number 1 seed, so they get that bye. I got the Yankees at the 2 seed, so they get a bye too. But for the 3 and 6, I have the Astros at the 3 spot, and I got the Red Sox at the 6 spot. And for the 4 and 5, for American League, as I'm currently discussing, I got the Mariners at the 4th spot, and I got the Blue Jays at the 5th spot. Now, between the Red Sox and the Astros, I have the Astros, because the first series is always a best of 5. It's not a best of 7 like other sports. It's first round. It's always a best of 5. I have the Astros in 4 games. So then the Astros will play against the Yankees. I have the Yankees in 7 games. Now going back down, Blue Jays versus the Mariners. I have the Mariners winning. And then I got them for the Mariners against the Tigers. I have the Tigers winning in 6. And for the Mariners, I have them winning in 5 games. So Tigers versus Yankees. I got the Yankees going to the World Series for the American, representing the American League. Now for the National League, because this is a very dicey league. I got unfortunately, the Dodgers at the 1 seed, which is pretty depressing. I got the Cubs at the 2 seed, and Cubs are going to have a really solid ending. I got the Mets at the 3rd seed, and then against them, I got the Padres at the 6th. I have on the 4th seed, I got the Giants. I think the Giants are going to have a breakout second half season. No one is expecting it. And then I got the Brewers at the 5th spot.
All right.
And I'm a little biased, so I don't give a damn what you guys say. I have the Giants in 4 games, beating the Brewers in the first round. Between the Mets and the Padres, I have the Mets winning in 5 games. Mets versus Cubs, I have the Mets winning in 7 games. That's an upset. Giants and Dodgers, I got the Giants winning. I think they're going to pull off a major upset, and the entire Bay Area and the entire world is going to be shocked at baseball. Between the Mets and the Giants, I got the Giants in 7 games. So the Yankees versus Giants, these 2 teams, I believe they played each other in the past World Series. I got the Giants winning in 7. I don't care what y'all say. I'm a Bay Area kid. Go Giants.
Get on the Giants hype train. I mean,
Okay.
even for me, I actually in my first round was really a toss-up. I saw the Giants Phillies, but seeing in a playoff standpoint, I don't know. I got the Phillies moving on if that happens. But Drew, what's yours? What do you got?
Like Emma mentioned, National League is probably the toughest league of the American and National League. Well, I'll start in the American League for now. I think my top 2 seeds are Detroit as number 1, and then Yankees as my number 2 seed. I think that Houston would be number 3, so the top 3 seed has to be divisional winner. So, and I think their 6th seed the 6th seed would be Toronto, and then I have Houston beating Toronto, and then my 4th seed would be Seattle, And then my fifth seed would be Boston Red Sox because they're on a 10-game winning streak as of right now. And I got Seattle winning. So I got Seattle versus Tigers in the divisional round. I got Tigers are in 4, so they'll be they'll heading to the ALCS, and then it'll be Houston versus Yankees. I got Yankees in 4, so I think that it'll be Detroit versus Yankees in the ALCS, and I got Tigers winning in 6. I feel like Aaron Judge doesn't do well in the playoffs, as we all mentioned. Doesn't do well. He only hit bat over above .200 in the playoffs compared to his regular season number. So I think that's the reason why Yankees always don't do well in October because of Aaron Judge's performance. So I got Tigers as my AL as my American League winner. For my National League, I it's gonna hurt for me to say as a Giants fan, but I got Dodgers at the number 1 seed, so they'll win the NL West. As my 2 seed, I gotta say the Milwaukee Brewers. I think they're gonna overcome. I think they're gonna take the division away from the Cubs, so they'll be the 2 seed.
Yeah.
And so that's my 2 seed. I think my 3 seed would be Philadelphia. They will face the Giants. So I think obviously we all speculate the Giants a lot, but I don't think I feel like the Giants got the pitching. I'm not really biased, but I have to be honest. I feel like, but I think they got Phillies. They got the Phillies for sure. And then my 4th seed would be Chicago versus Mets, which is gonna be an interesting series overall. But I got New York winning, so I got New York Mets winning that game. So the top 2 seed would be Milwaukee and Dodgers. So the Dodgers would face the Giants would face the Brewers. So I gotta say the Brewers would take that one in 4. I think the Giants have one game that the offense wake up in the middle of the game, and then
Sweeping the Giants.
no, I got the Brewers beating Giants in 4.
I this is a wild card.
No, this is the divisional round. This is my divisional round.
Okay.
The divisional round is Dodgers, Mets, and then Brewers and Giants. So
Okay.
I think Milwaukee would beat the Giants in 4 games. I think one game Giants would go off offensive wise, but in Mets versus Dodgers, I got Dodgers in 4. I think, like you said, won't be sweep. I feel like Dodgers always have a game that give away so many runs, give up a lot of runs. But my final will be Milwaukee and Dodgers. I got Dodgers in 6, representing my National League. I think they're just even though the Dodgers have injury history right now, even though Dodgers have injury with pitchers and I think they have enough offense, compared to Milwaukee. No offense to Mon, but I think.
I like your take. You got the Brewers in the World Series. They haven't won.
Well, this is NLCS. This is NLCS. This is NLCS, by the way. So, and my World Series match will be Tigers and Dodgers.
Well, hey, since you said that, someone agrees. Someone agrees.
I would definitely be rooting for the Tigers. I remember when I played baseball when I was a kid. I played for the Tigers, and that was the first championship that I won on that team.
But you did like that. We did this like softball thing.
No, it was Little League.
A Little League, okay.
I would like to see Yankees Dodgers.
Also, shout out to any Californians that know Canyon Creek Little League. That's the one I played for.
Yeah. But I got Tigers and Dodgers for my second half for my prediction.
Yeah, my upsets is the Guardians beating the Yankees and the Red Sox to get into the ALCS to lose to the Tigers, and then I got the little brother finally beating Big Brother. The Padres take down the Dodgers to lose to the Mets.
Yeah, I got the big upset. I got Giants beating the Dodgers. The world's not ready for it, but the world's gonna love the Giants when it happens. It will happen. You can mark my words, record it, do whatever you want. It's going to happen.
Someone clip it, please.
Someone clip it. We're watching.
Yeah, forever watching. Someone clip it for sure.
I mean, technically, we could just clip this if we just go on a YouTube channel. We could just like screen record or whatever.
Make it short.
But remember this when it approaches.
October.
Well, when it approaches September, because that's like when you got to start winning your games. Because October is playoff time. Like August, you got to take seriously, and then September is the most serious where you got to start winning your games. So,
well,
save this for October mainly.
Well, there you have it. That's our episode. Thanks for chiming in. Let us know who you got. Who's your early prediction to win it all? Make sure to like and subscribe and lay on the comments. The more, the merrier, and we can keep these episodes longer as we can on the takes that happen around the league. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good night, people.
Hey, follow us on Instagram, people.
And Jesse will be back next time.
Yeah, Jesse will be back next week. So please follow us on Instagram, like and subscribe on YouTube, and hope everyone has a good night and enjoying watching us doing this content. More content will be announced next week.
Enjoy the week. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.